Hey there, it's Darcy. Welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, I'm an NYU student and I am graduating this month and I can hardly believe it. I can't believe it's May. The semester went by so fast. I have 1 week left of classes and then I have like one final and then the next week I'm graduating, so it's just like boom boom boom, we're almost done folks, and I just like don't even know. So as you can tell by the title of this video, I am graduating early. If you don't already know, I have made a video on how I'm doing that and specifically how I'm doing that as a transfer student, so I will link that down below. Check that out if you want to understand kind of how I'm doing it. But instead for this video I just really want to focus on like why I made the decision and where I'm at in the process and kind of my thoughts on everything, especially because I want to be able to like look back on this time. And a lot of the vlogs I've been filming right now I just don't feel like are super high quality, and I just like haven't felt like they're, I don't know, good enough to post, and I just like have so much going on in my head that just like vlogs haven't been doing it right now. So I wanted to sit down and talk about where I'm at. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts on graduating early, then keep on watching. Basically, I am in my 3rd year of college and I'm a transfer student, so I spent a year and a half at the College of William and Mary and a year and a half at NYU, which I know is kind of confusing, which is why it's good to go watch that other video. But basically, there's like several reasons I would say I want to graduate early. One is that being a transfer is kind of a weird thing, especially the way I did it. So it feels like I had 2 college experiences almost, which makes it feel like I was here like doubly long, so I don't feel like I'm missing out because I feel like it's been a really long time I've been in college, even though somehow it's only been 3 years. So I don't really know, but I don't feel like I'm missing out in terms of longevity because I've had like 2 college experiences, it feels like, even though they like overall haven't been as long. So I definitely think being a transfer like made the process feel so long because every stage of the process felt so different, as opposed to like kind of having 4 years of consistency. That's just me, that's my personal experience. Some transfers might want to be in college longer because they feel like they're missing out. Just for me though, I think I am just very much at a stage where I want to see what's next. I have ideas about what I see myself doing, kind of like something in the media marketing industry, but I really want to get out there and like kind of get a better sense of that. I am a journalism and sociology double, which means I can do a lot of different types of things, from research to analysis to writing to multimedia. Like there's just like a broad spectrum of things I'm interested in and different jobs I'm applying for, and so I just like want to get a feel for like where I see myself in my professional life, and kind of I'm ready to start exploring that and moving on to the next thing, which is exciting. And then of course there's the financial reason of NYU is really expensive, and because I did a summer semester, I still technically had 4 semesters at NYU, but I still am saving my parents a good amount of money, and then my sister's starting school in the fall, so it just logistically and financially makes a lot of sense for me to graduate right now, even though it's like different than how I think we all expected things to go, just because I was supposed to graduate in 2020, which is like the coolest year ever, but oh well, class of 2019. So yeah, that's just like kind of some of the reasons why, and where I'm at right now, I would say it is a lot, especially like it's weird being 21 going through this, and most of my close friends aren't necessarily going through this right now. A lot of people are graduating next year or just like in the future long term, like people are doing different things. So I know like a few people graduating right now, but not a lot. Definitely people in a lot of my upper level classes are, but a lot of people I've known more long term, like outside of school, like outside of class, those people aren't actually graduating. So it is kind of a weird thing where it's like, I don't know, I don't have the same like camaraderie almost. That's the thing about being a transfer though, is I'm like so used to that, kind of just like used to doing my own thing, so which is why I'm like cool with graduating early. Like again, I don't really feel like I'm missing out, so I'm okay with that side of things. It's just kind of a very different experience probably. I'm not like graduating with a huge ton of friends, which is how I was in high school, and yeah, it's definitely like a different experience than I expected. I did not expect to be 21, I figure out all this stuff, and in some ways I do feel like that might be like the most overwhelming part, is having to figure out all these things for like adult life basically, and having to like start being like more independent and figuring out having a full-time job and getting my own place and that kind of thing, which I'm planning to probably sublet. I'm looking at places places to celebrate right now, but still, like, that's just like a lot to figure out as I'm like wrapping up on school, doing 2 capstones and like finishing all of that out, and then doing a full-time job search and apartment hunting. So in terms of that, that's kind of why I haven't been making a ton of videos, just because there are certainly days where it's kind of a lot to handle, and but at the same time it's really exciting. So that's where there's like a lot of mixed feelings right now, I would say, and I kind of wish I could be more in the moment about graduating, but there's just so much to focus on for like the transition that I feel like I've been very focused on that. But hopefully as I'm like actually, you know, doing commencement ceremonies and all of that, I'll like really be able to enjoy it and be proud of what I've accomplished, because I have done a lot in my 3 years to get here, and I'm really proud of that. So yeah, I mean, people always think it's really cool when I tell them I'm graduating early, and I did work hard, and I worked hard in high school to be able to do this too with AP classes, which is a big reason as well that I'm able to do this. So yeah, I would say overall though it is overwhelming, but it's also exciting. So if you are interested in graduating early, I would say just like kind of be prepared for both sides of it, because it is a lot, especially to do it like sort of a year early. Like you don't have that extra year of like development and career experience and I don't know, maturity or whatever. Like, I don't know, but if you're graduating early, you're probably mature enough anyways, and definitely like think it can be a really good option. So I think one thing that I've been asked a little bit on Instagram to maybe talk about is if I regret leaving early. I don't think as of now I do. I definitely have had second thoughts since being in this whole process, because it is overwhelming and like I could have waited another semester or another year to do this, but overall I would say I don't, because I do really want to like start the next chapter, and college has been a really hard time for me, so I think I'm ready to like kind of move on and yeah, start fresh. So I don't think I have any regrets. I do think maybe I like missed out some on the college experience being a transfer and also graduating early, so that's certainly something to consider if you are interested in graduating early / transferring either of those. Like it is a really different experience. Like I said, I don't feel like a big class camaraderie or any of that, which is partly why I'm like fine graduating early, because I don't have that. I'm not like, oh, I have to graduate with, you know, all these friends I made freshman year or something. Like I'm sure people have that experience or whatever it may be, but that's just not really mine. So I'm just like kind of like, you know, if this is gonna save my parents money and like help me, I think, kind of get ready and figure out what I want to do and all of that, just like I'm just like not getting that much out of school anymore, I feel like, and I've definitely like learned a lot in college, but yeah, I feel like I'm just kind of saying the same thing, which is like I'm ready to move on to the next step. So if you feel that way when you're in college, like definitely consider graduating early. I never considered it when I was a freshman. I was just very focused on like what I was doing in the moment, and I was like, I knew I could graduate early because of the AP credits I brought in, but I did not decide that I wanted to graduate early until, I don't know, last summer maybe? I mean, definitely by fall semester I knew I wanted to. I can't remember exactly when I decided, but somewhere along the lines where I was kind of getting burnt out with school and was just like, you know what, if I can do this, I think it makes sense. So yeah, I don't know, I feel like this video was a little bit rambling all over the place, just kind of spilling out my thoughts as to where I'm at, and maybe in the future I'll make another updated video on whether I think it was a good choice to graduate early in terms of like where I end up with my career and all of that. But as of now I don't have any regrets. I don't think. It's just a lot right now, because it's kind of the biggest transition in some ways I think I've had, because going off to college is a big transition, but you're still in school. Like this is going to be the first time in my life that I'm not a student, that I don't have that validation of grades and like a GPA, and so that in some ways is almost the most scary part. It's just like this huge life transition of what my life is going to be focused on, and being a student has been like this big part of my identity growing up and into my young adult life. So I think that'll be a big transition, but it's also exciting to think like I get to decide how I spend my time more or less, and what I focus on in like educating myself and informing myself about the world, because so much of the last several years has been focused on schoolwork. That's like I could read all these books in my free time and do all these other things that are more creative that I want to do as hobbies. And I mean, who knows what that'll actually be like. Maybe that's very idealistic of me, because I will have a full-time job, fingers crossed. But yeah, I'm just excited to see what happens. Yeah, so definitely like let me know if you guys have any advice or like things you want to see as I'm like graduating and starting my young adult life. I definitely think there's going to be a huge transition on my channel, because so much of my content has been very NYU focused, but I'm hoping it'll be a good transition and I can make a lot of content that's sort of like post-grad related, because I don't think there's a ton out there yet. Maybe there will be as more YouTubers are graduating, but I feel like I would love to have watched more videos. Like I've watched a few about like the transition, but yeah, I wish there was more out there. So I probably will do that, and then I'm not really sure where my content's gonna go. I'm not sure where like a lot of college YouTubers' contents are gonna go, so it'll be a interesting time to be on this platform and see where everyone is headed. Yeah, so I will see you all in my next video. Definitely will be doing an update once I have a more clear job and apartment plan. Working on that right now, very much in the depths of that. Hopefully we'll have some more updates to come soon, but wish me luck with everything, and then definitely be vlogging like graduation and all of that. So yeah, it's just like a very, very full month of exciting things and changes. The end of the month I will basically be adulting full-time, hopefully. I mean, if you know all goes well and everything, so we'll see. But definitely subscribe if you're not already, to like keep up with me and see what I'm up to in the future. So that's that. Hope you enjoyed hearing where I am at, and yeah, I will see you all in my next video. Bye. I have 1 week left of classes. I have no idea what that was.